Aloha and Tashi Delay from Kauai Tibetan Buddhist Dharma Center here on the island of Kauai in Hawaii. We produce this class every Thursday night, 6 to 8 o'clock, and record it and put it on our website for our Vajra brothers and sisters that live here and in other time zones. I'm Lama Tashi. Tonight's program and class is beyond the three lights meditation with the 5 elements healing practice combined. And I'm going to give an explanation of the origination of that. And then later in the class, we do the Vajrasattva practice, which is one of the 4 preliminary practices of Tibetan Buddhist teachings of connecting with Sutra and Tantra to bring up the true nature of your awareness as beneficial for not just yourself, but limitless sentient beings. And to understand the true nature of your mind and the universe as a state of voidness, emptiness, called sunyata. And how to bring these two together and attain higher states of intelligence, which in this day and age are very useful for the human race and the other sentient beings that live in our world. I was asked today if I could explain where the 5 elements practice originated. Actually, they originated when your mother created your human body. And these 5 elements are the basis of everything in our phenomenal world. But in the Tibetan tradition, they originated from the Bon Pro, and in China from the Tai Chi Quan practices for healing. When you talk about earth, water, fire, air, and space, these are universal elements. They're found everywhere in the universe. And substantially, they're based on what they call particles in Tibetan, or atoms in science. But the color code of the 5 elements that we use, which other tribes and traditions also have used this, Hinduism and so forth, were introduced to us here in Hawaii by my root Lama Kalo Rinpoche. And at a very early time in the development of our Dharma Center on Maui, he gathered a group of 50 people to give the transmission of the 5 elements healing practice in a 2-day retreat in Lahaina. And when he gave this practice, at the start of each meditation on one of the elements, he introduced the 3 lights connected with the breath as the basis. Because when you breathe, you actually only think of the air, but the air is combined with earth, water, fire, and space. It's not just air or gas. So when you're breathing that, you're actually breathing the 5 elements, and they carry energy. So since we're energy feeders, those 5 elements with the breath sustain your physical system by entering into every cell in your body. And that transmission is sacred because it keeps you alive. And the color code of the blue, green, white, gold, and red, gold can be yellow, is to complement the element. For instance, using the air element with the green color code is the main support for plant life, both on the planet and in the ocean. The water element, without the water, no life can exist on the surface of the earth. The earth element starts with the basic particles, atoms, molecules, and so forth, then generates into larger and larger substances. The fire element is the nature of the warmth, not the warmth of your body, but the electromagnetic and the planetary radiations of suns, stars, moons, the earth itself, and so forth. So all of these are incorporated in the human condition, and not working in harmony causes disease and shortness of life. So they're very absolutely necessary. And when Kala Rinpoche gave the teachings, he had these 5 blocks made. This 6-sided yellow or gold cube symbolizes the earth. The water is a sphere. The earth, a 4-sided pyramid with a base. The air, a half sphere with the.
No, that was fire.
Yeah, this was fire. This is the fire element. And the earth element is a half sphere colored green. And the space element, like the water element, is a white sphere. The sphere is a symbol of universal energy. And we introduced that in more elaborate manner in Tibetan Buddhism, connecting the 5 elements with the inner nature of our awareness or consciousness. Most people refer to it as mind, but awareness is twofold. There are 2 kinds of awareness. Awareness of the mind, or mind's awareness, we call the drama mind. And then another state of innate awareness is our natural awareness, which has capabilities for higher and higher intelligence, developing intelligence. Now, some people think being smart is a sign of intelligence. It's not. Intelligence in Tibetan Buddhism is the ultimate healing energy of your body, mentally applied to produce an effect in others and the environment around you and in your own physical situation. So the color code of these 5 elements with these 5 energy fields that are produced in the Tibetan Buddhist shamanistic Lama tradition are the same color code. And we had these printed on plastic, so when you hold it up to the light, they're the same color code on both sides. They blend. And that's the real nature of the elements also. These 5 energies are innate, and we call the 5 elements the female energy, and the 5 wisdom natures the father energy. Excuse me. The female energy and the male energy. So that's some explanation of why we do this practice. So it has thousands and thousands of years, all the tribes of the planet survived by these connecting to these 5 elements in different ways. Oh, and by the way, this stupa here is also 13 different kinds of stupa, but basically they're all the symbol of the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and the sun and moon at the top, space. And then a tiny flame at the very top pointing at the sky is the awareness, and we all have that. Then through these practices of sutra and tantra with the guidance of a lama, we learn the ultimate truth of awareness. And we call that natural mind or natural awareness. Earth, water, fire, air, space. In Tibetan Buddhist practice, in connecting to these higher states of intelligence through sutra and tantric methods, the development comes to be in the sutra tradition with a practice called the ordinary preliminary practice that of the 4 thoughts that turn the mind to Dharma practice of the extraordinary practices. And there are 4 of each of those. I'm going to explain the 4 ordinary practices, which I have printed up on the back of this sheet, which when we take refuge, we'll read the other side. But the first of the 4 thoughts, upon arising and in retreats, is that you have a precious human body with 8 prerequisites that can connect you through the Dharma and the Dharma teachings, lamas and so forth, to higher states of intelligence. So you should begin to develop that today with the guidance of a lama and all of the aspects of the higher states of awareness. This precious human body that you were born with is free and well endowed, and it already has in it these natures. They're called Buddha nature. Buddha is a made-up word of higher awareness. It's actually 2 words. Bu, how things appear, and da, their essence, which is voidness. The second of the 4 thoughts is everything's impermanent. Everything. And as you know, you grow, you develop, and you age. Many things come and disappear. But more than that, their nature is that they came from space. They appear as substantial when they're not, and they disappear back into space. And that condition is called temporal or time conditioning. The third thought, because of impermanence and that you have a precious human body, to inspire you to practice now and not wait till later, is karma, which is called cause and effect. Most people think karma is how they how they are. They think that because of the situation that you have, that everything's set. But that's not the case. Karma is based on all your tendencies of past lives, whether you believe you had past lives or not, coming forward into this life that are both negative and positive, these tendencies. And they're subliminal and actual. But these tendencies, the negative tendencies, if you act with those tendencies, cause you pain and suffering. Positive tendencies cause you good health. That's the karma. So with these practices, you want to weed out the negative tendencies and emphasize these positive qualities or tendencies. And you want to do that now. Because remember, in impermanence, you don't know which comes first, the next life or the next breath. And the fourth thought that turns your mind to Dharma practice is conditioned existence. And this conditioned existence, you have a body, speech, and mind which is constantly changing in time. And this temporal conditioned existence with this constant change is affecting you physically, mentally, emotionally, and for some of us, spiritually. And that is not appropriate. That counterproductive, doesn't work. And the end result, besides the pain and suffering of being in this state of conditioned existence, is you're going to lose not only the opportunities to practice Dharma, you can lose that opportunity, but you lose your human body. And there really is no such thing as death of the consciousness. And whether you believe that or not, this life, the next life, on into the future, you want to be okay with that. So you practice the Dharma. The precious human body, death and impermanence, karma, cause and effect, and the unsatisfactoriness of this conditioned existence, which starts in the womb, are not appropriate. Therefore, we adopt the mind of enlightenment and practice it for the benefit of all sentient beings, so that all of us use the four immeasurables, or four Brahma Viharas, is what they call them in India. The first one is metta, wishing all beings to be happy. Karuna, wishing them to be free of suffering and pain. And considering their well-being always. Mudita, rejoicing in their happiness regardless of our own condition or situation. And Upaika, which is wishing them free of any kind of emotional conflict, attachment, aversion, pride, jealousy, stupidity, delusion, dullness, and so forth. So those four immeasurable wishes are the theme of the compassion aspect of these practices. The altruistic motivation is combined with that, and in Sanskrit, that prayer in English is, in order to attain enlightenment for ourselves and limitless sentient beings, our mothers We now altogether take refuge, offer prostrations, and other methods of skillful means. And we chant that in Sanskrit, which that Sanskrit language is how all of the Buddha's teachings are transformed to all the tribes of the planet today. And this prayer in Sanskrit, this Bodhisattva prayer of motivation, that all beings realize their true nature and how to use it, and see them as our mothers, goes like this. Dao dong jowa namke da dong yampe sem shem tam she dudi ne junte chi si jeng chu ning po la chi bardu. Then this altruistic motivation is combined with taking refuge. And all Buddhists take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, which is called the Three Jewels. But in Tibetan Buddhism, we take refuge in the Three Jewels and the three roots of your, what we call, ultimately true nature. We go for refuge to all the glorious holy lamas. We go for refuge to all the deities gathered in the mandalas of our practice. We go for refuge to all the Buddhas, those who have conquered their mind and gone beyond. We go for refuge to all this supreme Dharma. We go for refuge to all the noble Sangha. And we go for refuge to all the Dakas and Dakinis, who are the protectors and defenders of the Dharma. All of these possessing the eye of transcending awareness. And that prayer chanted in Sanskrit. Palden lama dampa damla chapsu chio yedam chokor gilatso namla chapsu chio Sanjay Jom Dente Namla Chapsu Chio Tampe Chur Namla Chapsu Chio Bao Kandro Chokyo Sume Sho Yeseki Shendam Dempa Namla Chapsu Chio. Then we enter into the Bodhisattva training program with bodhicitta, which is having compassion for all beings, being interested in their well-being, combined with understanding the true nature of your mind as voidness and how to use it. And that prayer in English or Canadian, to the Buddha, Dharma, and this Supreme Assembly, we go for refuge until enlightenment. Yeah. May I, through the merit of practicing the 6 Bodhisattva disciplines, called the 6 perfections, accomplish Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. Then in Sanskrit, this prayer, Sanjay Chodam Choki Chodama Janju Bardu Dagi Chapsu Dagi Jinso Jipe Sonam Ki Jola Tenju Sanjay Jubarshu. And for any of you that you wish to have copies of this refuge sheet, they're on our website, or let us know. Let's meditate. For starters, sit with your back straight, head slightly tilted forward, eyes open, gazing to the space and light about arm's length in front. Mouth closed if you can, breathe through the nose. Hands in a comfortable position, either on your knees or in your lap. And bring your focus, your awareness, to your breath. It is recommended to do 3 clearing breaths. Inhale, exhale. Again. One more time. Then, focusing on your breath, when you inhale, think of the air coming in, which possesses the 5 elements, as filling your lungs with white light. Visualize that. The middle breath, they're called the absorption breath, is visualized as red light of the energy of the elements in your lungs, passing through every cell in your body. And these 2 color codes, white and red, visualize as the exhale of blue light come together and form the blue light exhale out your nose, which you think goes to all beings in space, all the animals, humans, and spirits, everywhere. Inhale white light, fill your lungs. The energy of the light visualized as red light, connecting to every cell in your body, energizing. These 2 together are the healing breath of blue light out your nose to all beings in space. Think of the sky. Then when you can effectively breathe the blue, white, and red, count 21 of these 3 light breaths. When you reach the 21st count, take your focus, your mind off your breath, and gather the three lights into one tiny particle of light and visualize it centered in the middle of your chest in the central channel of your life force. And the moment you do that, that point of light merges with the infinite light of boundless space, which is called the all ground in Tibetan. All of the samsara and all of nirvana is that space. So rest for a few moments, contemplating space. Be present. No meditation. Relax. Then moving from this state of spatial awareness, again invent the tigli, the tiny point of light in your heart chakra, creating a bindu or energy center. Visualize it to grow into a tiny sphere of clear light. Then from this dimension, imagine that small sphere of clear light to grow or evolve into one of the five symbols of the 5-element healing practice. Tonight, I choose the symbol of water, which is a small blue sphere about the size of your thumbnail, visualized in the center of your heart chakra, labeled water. And in practice of healing, you emphasize one element over the others to apply to various healing practices for your body to benefit. So now you visualize that small blue sphere labeled water about the size of your thumbnail to move out in front of your chest and up before your eyes, 2 feet in front. From that position, imagine it to grow in size large enough that you can see your physical form just as you are, sitting inside. And the sphere can be beyond the reach of your arms extended sideways or even room size. It's up to you. Then you extend the influence of this healing energy to the world around you and the beings in it by imagining the blue sphere to grow in size, extending out 25 miles in every direction, or to include your town, city, or a large area of where you're practicing. For instance, here in Hawaii, we imagine the island of Kauai and surrounding ocean inside the blue sphere. Then expanded in size to completely enclose Mother Earth, including her atmosphere of air. Then expanded in size to completely enclose our solar system, billions of miles in every direction. Then expand the water sphere of blue light to completely enclose our spiral disc-shaped galaxy. Then move beyond the boundaries of your conceptual mind and expand the sphere to merge with the light of boundless space. No meditation, just be present, relax, and contemplate the mother element of space. Then return to that dimension of spatial awareness, visualizing the blue sphere labeled water to enclose the galaxy. Shrink it in size to just enclose the solar system. Smaller yet to just enclose Mother Earth. Tinier and tinier just to close a large area of your town or city or island or wherever you're doing this practice. And take all that life support, healing energy, of visualizing the sphere just enclosing your physical body, sitting inside. Now the virtual and the actual, the imagined and the existing are the same thing. To end the practice, bring the blue sphere to its original thumb size in front of your eyes. Drop it to chest level, bring it into your heart chakra. Shrink it to a tiny particle of light and relax as that blends with the infinite light of boundless space. Be present, no meditation, contemplate space. Then bring your awareness to in front of your eyes and spread it into your area of influence. And since this is part of Bodhisattva training, dedicate the virtue of this practice to the benefit of all living beings, your mother. Now this practice, this 5 elements practice, is being applied medicinally in hundreds and thousands of different ways. To treat disease, pain, and suffering on the outer level, and to treat the cause of the suffering on the inner level, we need to use the Sutra and Tantra practices. Which remove the conflicting emotions and all the outer influences of what causes pain and suffering. So what this medicinal program is called Tibetan Buddhism can be applied to any condition that requires healing on the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level. But on the spiritual level, we're treating the cause, which is these conflicting emotional energies. Attachment, number 1. Aversion. Jealousy. Pride. And ignorance, delusion, or dullness. Removing all aspects of fear and hope as wasted energy. And in the process, attaining a level of I'll use the word happiness that lasts. Most of the way we treat medicine on this planet produces temporal or temporary happiness. Then the conditions of the pain or suffering again arise. And that is not appropriate. And this word appropriate is applied to all the sutra and tantric practice taught by the lamas in the Tibetan shamanistic traditions, which go back 2,600 years to the Buddha Shakyamuni and has evolved through unbroken lineages down to the present day. And to our benefit, this is a global situation. Now, on my right, for the practice tonight, I'm showing you a tanka that we made 45 years ago. This is a wax print, which we've been using for these classes of Vajrasattva and Pema Khandro in union. But when showing the deity for Vajrasattva practice, this sexual union indicates that the male and female energies of the elements are the female energy, and if the female consort is red, that's the fire energy, and Pema Khandro is the deity in charge of everything that we imagine with this eye and everything that we see with these two eyes. And Vajrasattva is the method to bring all that into harmony. At the same time, purify karma, which I mentioned before was the third of the reasons that we practice Dharma, of negative and positive tendencies following us like a shadow from one life to the next. And purifying the negative and using the positive qualities for healing the positive tendency. And when you do that, then these 5 states of higher intelligence, called the 5 dhyana Buddhas, become your living nature, whether you're in a body or not. To explain Vajrasattva, the lotus sun and moon seat that the deity sits on symbolizes taking birth in the human condition. But the sun and moon seat is also that's your inner awareness, and the outer awareness is supported by the sun and moon in the sky. Then those 2 light energies produce the outer sphere of influence that benefits and heals others. And the inner sphere of your mental program purifies yourself. So Vajrasattva is the male energy of these 5 energy fields. And one of the 5 colored dakinis symbolizes one of the 5 elements. As I mentioned tonight, we're using the Lotus family dakini, Pema Khandro. And the white symbolizes Chenrezi or Vairocana Buddha field, avoidant. But the 5 Buddha fields are worn by a crown on both deities. She has 5 roses in her hair, he has 5 jewels in his. They are dressed in silks and jewels. And the third eye shows, and the exchange of their energy is tongues touching as a bliss energy, but also in sexual union as bliss energy. And that light produces the natural world around them as where this can only take place. This program. Now the mantra of the deity comes from the empowerment of the Lama of three lights connecting with three color codes, white, red, and blue, just like we did with the three lights to the 5 elements healing. Only this time we add sound to the color code of Om, Ah, and Hum. Om is the energy of the mind, light of the Lama's head, light coming to your head to give you the support to be the rainbow body of the deities, either in union or by themselves. The red light from the Lama's throat to your throat gives you the initiation for the seed syllable and the mantra of the deity to purify your speech and your karma. And then blue light from the Lama's heart center to your heart center is the wisdom transmission that traces the cause of the conflicting emotions to change into the energy of the Buddha field of the deity. And the root Lama that gives the initiation merges into you, then your body, speech, and mind become the body, speech, and mind of the Guru. That's the fourth empowerment. Now you have received that empowerment. And the Om, Ah, and Hum vibration, the Om appears from the white light as a sphere of light in your head. The Ah from the red light of the Lama throat to your throat, in your throat. And the dark blue Hum, the sign of infinite healing, appears in blue light in your heart center. Then the white light comes down the central channel of your life force and merges with the red light. These two together come and merge with the blue light. And the blue light of the seed syllable Hum becomes the creation sound of infinite healing, whether it be on the outer symptomatic level, which all healing on the planet is only symptomatic, or the inner causal energy of purifying the, transforming the conflicting emotions into the 5 spheres of higher states of intelligence. So you visualize this blue sphere in your heart containing this sound, Hum, H-U-M. And then the mantra circles the Hum in a 5-colored sphere of light. And the mantra is like a coil of letters of the 100-syllable mantra of Vajrasattva. And then at the end of that part of the practice, it becomes the short practice of the mantra of the male and female, connecting the heart centers together. So we start with the 100-syllable mantra of Vajrasattva to purify our past karmic tendencies that have come to us and are causing great trouble with us this life. I'm going to read the translation of the 100-syllable mantra so that you know that devotionally, this Lama connects you to all the healing energy of all the deities and symbols in Tibetan Buddhism. And it goes like this. Om Vajrasattva Samaya. This means that Vajrasattva is the commitment to transform all of your negative tendencies into higher states of intelligence or Buddha energy. Vajrasattva protect us with this Samaya commitment. Connect to us and remain firm in me as my teacher. Grant me complete satisfaction and purification and transformation of all conflicting energies. Grow within me this increased positive influence. Be loving towards me. Grant me all the accomplishments to attain Buddhahood in this lifetime. Show me that all my karmic activities are useful. Make my mind virtuous and auspicious. Become the heart essence of the seasonable home of infinite healing. And with the four sounds, ha, 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 and ha, the four immeasurables, four empowerments, four joys, and four kayas appear in my stream of being. This becomes an exclamation of joy and bliss with this accomplishment. Bless me, you who embodies all the Vajra wisdom teachers, Tathagatas. Do not abandon me. Grant me the realization of my own Vajra nature of indestructible awareness. Om Great Samaya Sattva, unite and become one with all of us, all sentient beings. So that's one of the many prayers or interpretations of the Vajrasattva mantra. But we are instructed to do this practice, to take that prayer as the Sanskrit language of the 100 syllables of where this prayer comes from and how it's transformed your negative tendencies, your conflicting emotions, into intelligent states of awareness and purify the mind and bring good health to your body, and that all beings are included in the results. So now I'm going to sound the 100 syllables in Sanskrit, which is called a Dharani, or purification mantra, that we repeat over and over, seeing the deity above our heads in union, just as it's pictured here, with the 100 syllable mantra going around in the heart centers of both deities, connecting this part of the blazing light, filling them. Then this light moves from their point of union, or from, if it's just Vajrasattva, from Vajrasattva's heart, down into the Uma channel opened at the top of your head, and fills your body with this light energy, healing energy, in stages all the way down to your feet. As you sound the mantra, the more you sound this 100 syllable mantra, then that light energy filling you pushes all the negative tendencies out through the pores and orifices of your body and becomes like sludge, sluices off the body and goes down into the earth under you and becomes food and nectar for the beings living, all the dogs, all the animals living in the earth, all the spirits. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tikte Judo Mevawa Sutokayo Mevawa Supokayo Mevawa Anarakto Mevawa Sarvar Siddhi Memchayas Sarvar Karma Susame Sitsam Sriyam Kuru Ho Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarvar Tathagata Vajramame Musa Vajrabhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ah. Now that ah, the last syllable, is the sound of the energy of the vibration of the mantra and the visualization of this rainbow body of the deity, or both deities, passing their awareness as energy down through your physical body. And then that causes all the light channels, nadis in your body to clear and push out the negative blockages out like sweat, which runs off your body down into the earth and changes into nectar or food for the beings in the earth under you. So it's not wasted. Again, see the seed syllable Hum and the seed syllable Ram in their heart centers. The blue Hum it is and the red Ram rooms. And from the light of that, a bell and Dorji appear. Looks like this in their heart centers. Then from that, the radiant light of the mantra with the sound of your voice appears, blazing through them, and then all that energy down into you, filling you up in stages. And then purification takes place inside of you. That all comes out and down into the earth as nectar. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tita Jido Mevawa Sutokayo Mevawa Supokayo Mevawa Anurakto Mevawa Sarvar Siddhi Memchayatsa Sutsame Sitsam Sriyam Kuru Ho Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarvar Tathagata Vajramame Vajrama Mahasamaya Sattva. That sound ho is voidness. Body, speech, mind, and qualities into voidness. And ah is the sound of vibratory sound of energy of the practice taking place. Om is the start of the mantra, bringing all the universal light into you. And Om, Ah, Hum are connected to the breath to purify physical, mental, and emotional programs in your mind. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Diktajijo Meva Sutokayo Meva Supokayo Meva Anarakto Meva Sarva Siddhi Mantaya Sarva Karma Suchame Sitam Shriya Guru Sarvata Gata Bhaja Mami Mukta Bhaja Bhava Ma Samaya Sapa Om Vajragana Vajrasattva Samaya Anupalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Ita Jero Meva Suto Gaya Meva Supo Gaya Meva Monoranto Meva Sarva Siddhi Mantaya Sarva Karma Susame Sitsam Shri Guru Bhagavan Sarvata Gata Vajramani Vajramana Samaya Sattva Om Vajragani Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denupa Tikta Jado Meva Suto Kayo Meva Supo Kayo Meva Anurakto Meva Sarva Siddhi Mantaya Sarva Karma Susame Satam Shriya Guru Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramani Vajramani Samaya Sattva Om Vajragani Satsam Shri Guru Sarvata Vajramani Bhava Samaya Sattva Om Vajragani Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Diktajijo Meva Sutokayo Meva Supokayo Meva Anarakto Meva Sarva Siddhi Mantaya Sarva Susame Sitsam Shri Guru Sarva Jata Gata Vajramani Vajramani Vajrasamaya Sattva Om Vajragani Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Nitajiro Meva Sutokayo Meva Supokayo Anuraka Meva Sarva Siddhi Mantaya Sarva Karma Sarva Gata Vajramani Vajramani Sattva Om Vajragani Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Diktajijo Meva Sutokayo Meva Supokayo Anurakto Meva Sarva Siddhi Mantaya Sarva Karma Susame Sitsam Shri Guru Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramani Vajrabhava Samaya Sattva Om Vajragani Vajrasattva Samaya Vajrasattva Denopa Diktajijo Meva Sutokayo Meva Supokayo Meva Anarakto Meva Sarva Siddhi Mantaya Sitsame Sitsam Shri Guru Sarva Tathagata Vajramani Vajramani Samaya Sattva. So this 100 syllable mantra is blazing from the sea syllables in the heart centers of the deity, filling the deities with light. And it turns clockwise, and it's like looks like a coiled spring. And then as this turns, there's the sound of your voice. They fill up with this light and it leaves their point of sexual union down into your uma, filling your inside of your body in stages with this energy and purifying all negative karma from past life up to the present. With each repetition of the mantra, more and more negative tendency dissolve and disappear. And also the nadis, 84,000 channels of light inside your physical form start to clear of all the obstructions you've been putting there since in the womb and taking birth through your mental and physical activities in this life. All negative is to be purified in this way. Of all past life, beginning with up to now, Om Vajrasattva Samaya Mamaya Vajrasattva Denupa Tikta Jiro Me Bhava Surtokayo Me Bhava Suptokayo Me Bhava Anurato Me Bhava Sedi Ventrayas Sarvakam Susame Sistam Shriyam Guru Ho Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarvatata Gata Vajramami Vajrabhava Mama Samaya Sattva Om. And the very last part of this prayer is where you connect to your own innate Buddha nature. And then when you say ah, it goes everywhere to everyone as healing energy. Om Vajrayogini Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tita Jado Me Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Manarato Me Bhava Sarvasedi Vaptayasa Sarvakama Susami Sisam Shriya Guru Om Savartata Gata Vajramami Musa Vajrabhav Samaya Sattva Om Vajrayogini Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tikta Jado Me Bhava Sutokaya Me Bhava Supokaya Me Bhava Anuracto Me Bhava Sarvasedi Memtrayasa Sarvakama Susame Sisam Shriya Guru Bhagavan Sarvatata Gata Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Om. Now the energy field that you are creating is an Aksabaya energy field, which is this Buddha on the shrine behind me, with the right hand palms down on the left knee in the earth touching gesture, and the left hand resting in the lap in meditation posture. And that is the energy field of interconnectedness, unity, that there is no such thing as separation, physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, with you and everything in existence and everyone in the universe are your support. That's called mirror-like wisdom. And all the energy of the universe, including your body, like an empty mirror, which is shown below the deity here, is your mind in action with this practice to purify all the negative ways you think of yourself and everyone else and the world around you. All the ways you speak from that energy, negative energy, and all of your negative tendencies and activities causing harm to you, others, and the environment. Purified up to this moment. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dhanapa Tikta Jito Deva Suto Kaya Deva Supo Kaya Deva Sarva Siddhi Namchayasa Karma Sutta Me Satsam Shriya Ko Om Ham Om Bhagavan Sarva Jataka Vajravami Musa Vajrava Masa Maya Sapsa Om Vajragani Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dhanapa Tikta Jito Deva Suto Kaya Deva Supo Kaya Deva Sarva Siddhi Namchayasa Sarva Karma Sutta Me Satsam Shriya Ko Sutta Satsam Shriya Guru Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramami Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Safa Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dhanapa Tikta Jito Bhagava Suto Kaya Bhagava Supo Kaya Bhagava Sarva Karma Sutta Me Satsam Shriya Guru Vajramami Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Safa. Now, in the Sanskrit language coming from India, from the Buddha Shakyamuni, when it was transmitted to Tibet, hundreds of teachers brought the teaching from many Maha cities in India to many places in Tibet. And there are 8 basic Tibetan dialects, and they don't all agree on the translation of the words or the sound of the syllables. So this mantra might be a little different from a Lama, say, from Central Tibet or Western Tibet or Eastern Tibet, North or South, but it's always the same purpose of purifying the negative tendencies and karma that follow you like a shadow from past lives to this life, and at the same time purifying your physical body of these responses that your brain put into your body this life. So it's not only just spiritual healing, it's also mental, emotional, and physical taking place. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dhanapa Tikta Jito Bhagava Suto Kaya Bhagava Supo Kaya Bhagava Anaraka Bhagava Sarva Siddhi Namchayasa Sarva Karma Sutta Me Satsam Shriya Guru Sarva Tathagata Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Safa Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dhanapa Tikta Jito Bhagava Suto Kaya Bhagava Supo Kaya Bhagava Anaraka Bhagava Sarva Siddhi Namchayasa Satsam Shriya Guru Sarva Tathagata Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Safa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dhanapa Tikta Jito Bhagava Suto Supo Kaya Bhagava Sarva Siddhi Namchayasa System Shiro Bhagavan Sarvata Vajra Vasamaya Safa Vajragini Vajrasa Samaya Madhupalaya Vajrasapadino Sita Jito Mebhava Sito Subhaka Mebhava Anurutu Mebhava Subhusiti Himda Yasa Sarvakama Sisame Sisam Shriyaku Aho Bhagavan Sarvatanaga Vajra Mami Musa Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Safa Now, the purification of this mantra took me, the first time I did it, 111,111 times, both this long mantra and the short mantra of being the deity, a year and a half in practice. And in retreat, we did the same mantra practice of Vajrasattva. The second month, when we did it in retreat, 10 hours a day, 4 2.5-hour sessions for 28 days. And then since then, maybe 300,000 recitations of the 100-syllable mantra and over 300,000 of the short mantra, Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrayogini, Mam Hum. But what happens in time, because it took a long time, many thousand lifetimes to get this much negative energy to follow you in such a powerful situation as exists on this planet today, and receiving these instructions from many, many different teachers, even though we have all of these calamities taking place around us. It works. And the more you sound these mantras, especially this 100-syllable mantra of Vajrasattva, everything gets better. And I mean everything. And there comes a time in your practice that you start to experience conviction and joy and more compassion for others and more ability to purify and heal other sentient beings and bring them happiness. That's the result of blending compassion with the void aspect of the deities, the mantra, and the visualization of these rainbow bliss bodies in your situation. And energizing the Buddha field of Aksamaya Buddha, that there's no such thing as past, present, and future. There's only nowness, as it is now, infinite okayness. And that's appropriate. Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Titachiro Mebhava Sudokaya Mebhava Subhokaya Mebhava Nararaju Mebhava Sarvasiddhi Mantraya Sarvakama Sisame Sisam Shriya Guru Bhagavan Sarvatata Vajramami Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Safa. That ha 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 ho is the 5 wisdom energies, of which Akshavaya is one, with the 5 elements, earth, water, fire, and air, is the symbol of this Vajra, and your mind bringing them together as a healing energy field for you and infinite sentient beings. That's the compassion of the practice. Altruistic compassion, ultimate compassion. Understanding voidness is the other bodhicitta. But understanding voidness without compassion and how to use it is not Mahayana Buddhism. And having attachment is an obstacle to this type of realization, to this level of realization, that this Vajra, indestructible Vajra, symbolizes. So you are developing a Vajra mind, body situation. Your Buddha nature is really innate in you already. You just have to be okay with that. And that takes, for us in the human condition, householders, monks or nuns, yogis and yoginis doing these practices, time. Oh, Vajrayogini, Vajrasattva, Samaya, Mano Pamaya, Vajrasattva, Dena, Tita Jira Meva, Sudokaya Meva, Sudokaya Meva, Amuto Meva, Sarva Siddhi Menjayas, Amu says a man, says a Shuko, Sarvatati Gata Vajra, Vajra Samaya Sapa. Oh, Vajrayogini, Vajrasattva, Samaya, Manupaya, Vajrasattva, Dena, Tita Jira Meva, Sudokaya Meva, Subhokaya Meva, Sarva Siddhi Menjayas, Sarva Siddhi Sesam Shiva Guru, Bhagavan Sarvajata Gata, Vajramami, Vajrava, Mahasamaya Sattva, Om Vajrayogini, Vajrasattva, Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajrasattva, Dena, Tita Jira Meva, Sudokaya Meva, Subhokaya Meva, Amanita Meva, Sarva Siddhi Menjayas, Sarva Siddhi Sesam Shiva Guru, Bhagavan Now, as you do more and more of this 100-syllable mantra, it only took me about 10,000 repetitions, which I had to read them from the text. And then one day I was doing the practice, I noticed I wasn't reading the words, oh, Vajrasattva Samaya. I knew the mantra. The short mantra, when you become Vajrasattva at the end of the practice session, is Om Vajrayogini, Om Vajrasattva, Mam Hum. Om Vajrasattva, Vajrayogini, Mam Hum. So that's the short mantra. And you say that when you become the deity at the end of the practice session. And you say the short mantra at least as many times as you did the long mantra, purifying. And when you do the short mantra, then all sentient beings, like the Chenrezig Z practice or Tara practice, which is where these come from, are being purified at the same time you are, in the same way. Om Vajragiri Vajrasattva Samaya Manapamaya Vajrasattva Dinova Dita Jino Memo Sutta Gaya Memo Super Gaya Memo Manapamaya Memo Super City Sesame Sesame Shirako Vajrabhava Vasamaya Sata Vajragiri Vajrasattva Samaya Manapamaya Vajrasattva Sutokaya Meva Sutokaya Meva Susame Sasam Shriya Go Bhagavan Sarvata Pasha Vajrabhava Samaya Sata. Now I'm holding here a mala, 108 beads. These happen to be made of sandalwood with one bead called the Guru bead to connect them all. When you count this mantra, you can actually do starting at about 100 an hour. When you get a little bit more proficient, 200. And when you really get into the practice, sometimes 300. Then you keep track. And one recitation of the mantra 108 times, you count 100 and keep a record. When you get to maybe 50,000, your visualization should be very much improved of the deity and all of this going through you. My teacher Lama Rinchen said he couldn't even see the deity. He could only see the light energy going through his body and down into the earth until he reached around 50,000. And he complained to his guru about it, and his teacher, Kala Rinpoche, told him, just stay with the mantra. The visualization will purify as your mental process purifies with the practice. Then once it starts to kick in, then as you do more and more of the deity purifying and all that light and it passing out of you down into the earth becomes clearer and clearer. And that shows that your physical and mental process is becoming healed. And then you will also notice that in your between practice sessions in your ordinary life, everything becomes better, improving, constantly improving. And I'm talking from my own experience up to now. And the realizations of your true nature and how to use it more and more in higher states of intelligence, more and more beneficial, more and more altruistic, more and more loving and kind and considerate applications. And that loving kindness is actually the basis of what your mother showed, what mothers show for their only child, unconditional loving kindness. And when you can show that for yourself, you in the face of the deity is the same, equal. Om Vajragiri Vajrasattva Samaya Manapamaya Vajrasattva Dinova Dita Jino Memo Sutokaya Meva Supokaya Meva Manapamaya Meva Sarva Siddhi Mantraya Sarva Susame Chitta Shriyanko. Sarva Tata Gata Vajramami Vajra Bhava Ma Samaya Sapa Samaya be pronounced Samaya. But again, no matter how the syllables are pronounced, they work. The vibration of your speech becomes more and more auspicious. Your mental faculties, more and more auspicious. The energy of your life, what you do, work, play, Dharma practice, more and more auspicious. And in a word, auspicious is my name, Tashi, means auspicious behavior. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Mano Palaya Vajrasattva Denopa Dikta Jiro Vivawa Sutto Kaya Vivawa Suppo Kaya Vivawa Anumata Vivawa Sarva Siddhi Vimchayasa Sarva Karma Sutsame Sitsam Shriya Guru Om Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Vajra Musa Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Om Vajrayogini Vajrasattva Samaya Mano Palaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tikta Jita Vivawa Sutto Kaya Vivawa Suppo Kaya Vivawa Anumata Vivawa Samsiddhi Vimchayas Sarvam Susame Sissam Shriya Guru Bhagavan Sarva Tataka Vajramami Vajrata Vajramaya Sapa Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Manam Palaya Vajrasattva Tenupa Tita Jira Megava Suttakaya Megava Anurata Megava Nandayasa Sarvagam Susam Shri Sarvata Gata Vajramami Vajrava Masamaya Sapa Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Manam Vajrasattva Denupa Tita Jira Megava Suttakaya Megava Subbokaya Megava Sarvata Namjayasa Sarvagam Sesame Sesam Shriya Guru Om Bhagavan Sarvata Vajramami Nusa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Mano Balaya Vajrasattva Tenupa Tita Jiro Megava Sudokaya Megava Supokaya Megava Jedi Mantayasa Sarvagam Susame Sisam Shriya Guru Sarvata Gata Vajramami Musa Vajrava Mahasamaya Sapa Vajragini Vajrasattva Samaya Mano Palaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tita Jiro Megava Sudokaya Megava Supokaya Megava Now we do the short mantra, and the deity comes down into you. If you have just Vajrasattva, you become Vajrasattva with the mudra of holding the Vajra and the bell. If you're in union like this one, then you cross hands behind the deity holding Vajra and bell, and you're in sexual union. Om Vajrasattva. Mam Hum Pe. That's the short mantra. But since we're using Vajrasattva in union with Pema Khandro, Om Vajrayogini, Vajrasattva, Mam Hum Pe. Om Vajrayogini, Vajrasattva, Mam Hum Pe. Om Vajrayogini, Vajrasattva, Mam Hum Pe. Om Vajrayogini, Vajrasattva, Mam Hum. 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 Now you're now Vajrasattva in union with, in this case, Pema Khandro, and the mantra connects the two C syllables, Mam in her heart center and Hung in his heart center. And it's like a figure 8 connecting with this mantra, these two heart chakras. And you are both deity. If you were just doing Vajrasattva singular, then just Vajrasattva with the Hung in the heart center. Then you would just say, Om Vajrasattva Om, Om Vajrasattva Om, Om Vajrasattva Om. But I was taught to do in union with the whatever one of the 5 Buddha family Dakini, you can pick whichever ones. You could be blue, Dakini, red, gold, white, or green. It's good to start with both of them white, but this is in the Kala Rinpoche taught us all 5 doing this practice. So you could switch the Dakini energy at a certain time and day to day or month to month or a certain time in the practice. We had lots of choices. And we also were taught that in a retreat, 40-month retreat. So there's variables. And the 5 elements, these 5 are in your, all 5 chakras are lit up. So you have blue, green, white, yellow, red. When you say the short mantra, then all 5 are lit up. If you can't do that, then just be the 2 deity. Om Vajrasattva Vajragini Mam Om Vajrasattva Vajragini Mam Om Vajrasattva Vajragini Mam Om Vajrasattva Mam Om. Or you could say Om Pema Kandra Vajrasattva Mam Om. You could say Pema Dakini Vajrasattva Mam Om Pema Dakini Vajrasattva Mam Om Lotusakini Vajrasattva Mam Om Lotusakini Vajrasattva Mam Om Lotusakini Vajrasattva Om Vajrasattva Vajragini Mam Om Vajragini Sattva Mam Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Yam Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Yam Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Mam Vajrasattva Yam Now, like in the Chenrezig entire practice, all the sentient beings, animals, humans, and spirits become the deity, filling your mind and filling the universe. Actual and imagined, virtual and real, together, works together. And then this energy field of mirror-like wisdom, no separation, becomes the ultimate reality of your awareness. And higher states of intelligence evolve from that ultimate state of awareness. Om Vajrasattva Vajragini Mam Om Vajrasattva Vajragini Mam Om Vajrasattva Mam. You can say it either way, Om, or you can say Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Mam Om, or you can say Vajrasattva first, Om Vajrasattva Vajragini Mam Om. So you have variables in the short mantra. Om Vajrasattva Vajragini Mam Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Mam Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Mam Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Mam Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Mam Vajragini Vajrasattva Mam Vajragini Vajrasattva Mam Vajragini Vajrasattva Om Vajragini Vajrasattva Mam 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 Vajragini Vajrasattva Mam. Then to finish the practice, to go into the second stage of Mahamudra, the accomplishment stage, all the sentient beings in the universe as Vajragini Vajrasattva melt into you from every direction. You as the central deity then melt into the mantras in your heart center, Om Vajrasattva. They melt into the seed syllables. The seed syllables join together and in a 5-color sphere of light expand to the totality of space and at the same time contract into the tiny particle that connects with the infinite light of space. So outward is spatial awareness. Insight is clear insight with the point of light disappearing into the light of space is clarity. And you rest your mind in no meditation. Simply stay present and watch your thoughts. Don't add anything. Don't take away anything. Don't judge anything good, bad, superior, inferior. And watch out for dullness. Stay present and alert. in this accumulation stage of the bliss energy of your own thoughts, the accomplishment stage, you rejoin your yidam body, the bliss energy of whatever yidam practice your Lama is teaching you or you are performing, whether in retreat or daily practice, Chenrezi, Tara, Manjushri, or another session of Vajrasattva, whatever. And tonight, we dedicate the merit of this 2 hours of practice of virtuous activity, that all sentient beings gain the realization of Maha Mudra and in one lifetime become enlightened. KYD Nudu Dam, Shagya Champo Ju Name, Jowa Chinki Malan Pa, Nari Sala Gopar Show, Sanjay Kusa Nimpai Jimla Dam, Choni Maker Nimpai Jimla Dam, Kendu Miche Nimpai Jimla Ki, Chitar Gowan Mon Lam Ju Par Show. By this virtue, having realized Maha Mudra, may we quickly establish all sentient beings in that state without leaving one left out. By the blessings of the 3 bodies of the Buddha being accomplished, by the blessing of the truth of this Dharma being unchanging, and by the blessing of the wishes of us, the Sangha being unwavering, may this dedication prayer be fulfilled. May all beings have happiness, the cause of happiness, by our practice be established in bliss and equanimity. And may all the lamas have long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity. And may all their wishes be fulfilled. Aloha, Tashi Dere, and sweet dreams.